By the monitors, there was a tiny TV screen hooked up to a camera currently showing an empty drummer's stool. The guy's kit was so huge, jungled with cymbals, chimes, tom-toms, that they needed the TV to communicate. There was one lonely guy sitting at a computer. His job was to feed lyrics into the teleprompter. I thought, who does this guy drink with when he gets on the tour bus at night? Our dressing room was a visiting team locker room. There were empty massage tables and stationary bikes. The lockers had been covered with white sheets. A guy from Warner Brothers stood by the sandwich platter. He had horn-rimmed glasses and an aw shucks kid from the cul-de-sac encyclopedia brown demeanor. The high ratcheted up and I started to think he realized I was oozing into another state of being. He seemed weirdly menacing. He engaged me in some good show, excited for New York tomorrow? Chat. My eyes must have been ping pong balls. I got more googly-eyed as he chatted. I hopped up on one of the stationary bikes and started pedaling, idly then furiously. I stopped pedaling and the force of the exertion shot an intense blast of drugs, remedial drug information. When you're on E and you move intensely, then stop, you feel like you've ignited. This is why E goes so perfectly with dancing. My body shook in pleasure and disorientation. Encyclopedia Brown was still talking. I dismounted and walked off mid-sentence. Dave Matthews took the stage to Grand Mirage. I walked out of the barricades and into the crowd, looked up at the people in the stands, the spotlights tracing over them. The whole place seemed to be breathing in unison. I was grabbed by a girl in a hippie dress and pulled into the seats. Dance with us. Are you on E? I asked idiotically. No, we're drunk, she said, my own rules. I felt like a vice presidential candidate. I walked the rings of the stadium, slapping hands with fans here or there who recognized me. I was by myself, on drugs, grinningly holding up the all-access pass on a lanyard around my neck to security as they stepped up to block my way. They parted resentfully. Our bus was parked with a dozen other buses in a concrete chamber beneath the stadium. One weirdness of an arena tour is that you go to sleep on the bus at night as it heads to the next show, and then wake up inside a hockey stadium in a giant gray room. Some of them as big as a double football field, lit with yellow fluorescence, neither in daytime nor night, in the loud thrumming of all the bus's generators. Once you had your coffee in you, you had to clamber all over the arena searching for an exit to see what kind of day it was. Our bus was rented from a company that painted the same murals on all their buses, a beach scene and a purple sunset, with gentle waves, driftwood, and a beach rowboat, with subtle variations of the elements in the picture like a puzzle in Highlights magazine. There were several buses from the company on this tour. After one night early on, when I looked in panic from bus to mural bus, not knowing which one was mine, I memorized an aggregation of seagulls to know which one to get into. As the bus pulled out of the arena that night, I was in the back lounge. The E began to wear off, and in grief I gulped another. I came up as the sun came up. Not knowing what else to do, I took off all my clothes, savoring the ever-diminishing buzz. Each time I felt it subside a level, I would get up and manically improvise weird calisthenics, causing a rush, each rush less satisfying than the one before it. In New York, we played Madison Square Garden, and I had one E left. Dave brought me on stage to do something with the band. I improvised an onomatopoetic, it was onomatopoeic. Frighteningly manic, scary, fake joy. I danced circles around Dave, literally. I'm guessing now that every member of the band was staring at me with bayonets in their eyes, this freak who had seized their stage. I was oblivious. I introduced each of them in detail, though I couldn't remember some of their last names, by their star sign and their affinity for hiking or swimming. The audience, fucking sold out Madison Square Garden, looked like a sea of love lapping at the stage. Sidebar, that is something I fucking wish I saw when not high. The second night I smoked weed and the jam was more contemplative. I scored myself for wasting that money on the drive out of Boston. Luke is on the show, friend of mine. And I took him on my customary perambulator. We stopped on one of the upper levels to watch the music a little. There was a 15-year-old hippie girl dancing. She turned around and saw me. Her eyes lit up. I realized I was wearing the same clothes I'd worn on stage with Dave. And having essentially been in the Dave Matthews Band, I was a celebrity. I playfully shook her. Don't reveal my secret identity. She screamed. In seconds, I was dogpiled by a 15-year-old girl. Like a monkey. Luke yanked me to safety. Next question. So when I say a monkey, you get that it's from the band The Monkeys. Now, you don't think like, why does he think chimpanzees are... I just, you know... Sunken-eyed girl in the sandwich shop, ladle my soup from the kettle pot, so supporting myself, smolder looks, parsing that gaze, holding right intention. Sunken-eyed girl, don't let me go. You're the whole world and you barely know so. You're the drinks I drink and